Marriage, often seen as the ultimate fairy tale ending. But what happens when the reality doesn't match the dream? In today's video, we'll uncover the 9 surprising and disappointing truths many women face after saying, I do. Every individual has different experiences in their married life, but women have some common ones which are sad and disappointing. If you are a woman and watching this video, you're surely going to agree with most of the points. If you're a man, then I think you should understand what a woman feels in the initial days of marriage and comfort her in all ways possible. So, here are 9 most disappointing things that come in every girl's life once she's married off in a new house. Number 1, you were a princess. The emphasis on were is justifiable. Do you remember sitting on the couch and ordering food and water? Your mother was just a scream away from fulfilling your demands. You got everything on your plate, all ready to be gulped down your throat. You realize how well you had been treated at your mom's place when now you have to get up and fetch the glass of water yourself. You realize you were a queen back then when now you have to wake yourself up and make breakfast for the whole family. You might do everything wholeheartedly, but deep down, you miss your princess-like life which you lived for around 25 to 30 years. Number 2, you have no time for your parents. It's an undeniable truth that you are so busy pleasing a bunch of new people that you entirely cut off from your parents in the initial days of marriage. Unwittingly, you start taking them for granted, assuming that they'll understand your plight. They do understand, but the truth is, it's too difficult for them to handle the suddenness of you not being around, giggling and chit-chatting in the house. The unaccustomed silence haunts them, and they keep anticipating a phone call from you at least once a day. It leaves you by surprise that you sometimes go without talking to your parents for days and you've left with no time and energy to make a simple call. Though eventually you learn to tackle things in a better way, you still feel guilty for having hurt your parents for months. Number 3, you've had a more secure and relaxed life before marriage. I say secure because you were comfortable in your parents' house and didn't have to care about the cooking. You got a beautiful plate thrice a day without having to do anything at your mother's place. And it's sad how your home suddenly becomes your mother's. Though the new house is yours after all, initially it's a whole big struggle to settle down in the new environment. Number 4, you've never done anything for your parents. A few months into the marriage, you realize that you are doing so much for the house, your husband, and your in laws, which is right after all. But when you look back and see that you've done nothing like that sort in your parents' house, for your parents, it gives you terrifying guilt pangs. Though the cycle will repeat itself as you become a mother and your daughter does the same to you, but the realization hits hard, leaving you sad for a long time. Number 5. You've married too soon. This is the worst feeling you'll ever have after marriage. Though it's a flying thought that comes to your mind, you do feel at least once that you've taken the step too soon. You could have done a lot in your life that you cannot now in your married life. But I think if you make your mind, you can still live your dreams even if you're married with a lot of hard work and patience. Number 6. You are a guest at your parents' house. The happiest thing you do after marriage is visit your parents' house. But when you realize you are just a guest there and have to return to your husband's place after a short stay, you feel sad. It's like going to a school picnic. You're excited about the whole trip a few days before the day. You pack things, dream about the things you'll do there, and hop a little with the mere thought of spending time with your friends, and at the end of the picnic, it's just the same old boring routine. After marriage, you go on a picnic at your parents' place. You pack things, dream of taking some rest there, gossip about the things you've wanted to for the longest time, and return with tears in your eyes every damn time. Number 7, you're hanging in the middle. Many times you feel you're alone in this big world. There are several events after marriage where you feel like running away, but you don't know where to. For women, it's always either their husband's house or parents' house. It takes a considerable time to gel into the new household and accept it wholeheartedly. Number 8, it is tough to handle two sides of the family. Your parents wait for one call from you, but you're too busy in the initial days of the marriage that you hardly get time to make a mere call. Juggling between your office work and in laws, you completely forget that you have parents kilometers away who long to hear your voice. And number 9, your parents have lost their charm. When you visit your parents' home a couple of times after marriage, you realize they've grown older. The charm on their face is entirely lost after you left the house. You feel terrible about how your existence in the house had once been the reason for their smile, and now your moving out has taken away all their charm. If you also felt the same way in the initial days of your marriage, then do let me know in the comments below. I would love to know your views on this. And if you like today's video, then do like, share and subscribe. This will motivate me to make more videos.